Hello. In this video, I'm going to walk you through Block 4 and explain exactly how to use the Excel programming sheet. But before we dive into Block 4, I want to quickly zoom out and talk about the full training cycle. So in Block 1, you built your foundation. It was higher reps, strength endurance, and an aerobic base. We wanted to focus on movement quality and work capacity. In Block 2, we increased the intensity to target building muscle with moderate loads, some heavier work, and some conditioning that emphasized repeat sprintability and anaerobic capacity. In the last block, Block 3, we worked on maximal strength, heavier loads, lower reps, and conditioning that focused on power and change of direction. Now in this block, we're going to work on converting the strength that you've built, that force production, into power. For the Excel sheet, there are two tabs at the bottom. Currently, we are on the weight sheet tab. And what you'll see here is we have 3 days worth of lifting. So we've got day 1. Scroll over, you'll see day 2 and day 3. For each day, you have weights assigned for each week. So week 1, week 2, week 3, and week 4. The weeks are progressive. Week 1 is conservative. Week 2 increases in weight. And week 3 should be the heaviest week. Week 4 is a deload. This is where the weight should come down slightly. The deload is going to allow for recovery while maintaining movement quality and speed. Please make sure you're dropping your weight down in week 4. Right now, I know we don't have fixed target weights assigned. This is something that I hope to add in the future. But right now, I'm relying on you to be honest about how the lift feels and how well you're moving. For this block, the loads should feel heavy, but the movements still need to be safe. We're not maxing out. We're not grinding out reps. We want heavy, controlled reps, especially in that week 3, which is the peak week, which is where weights should be the highest. Now, at the bottom of each program, I've included a percent estimated reps in reserve for the reps for that block. So you're doing 4 sets of 3 reps for this block. So the reps in reserve is based off of 3 reps. Reps in reserve is just simply how many reps you could do beyond what you're prescribed. So for this block, again, we're doing 4 sets of 3. So you're prescribed 3. So once you're done those 3, you should feel like you still have some reps in the tank. And depending on the percentages, that'll dictate how many reps you still have in the tank. So if we're at 75%, you should still have 3 to 4 reps in reserve. In week 2, you're working at 80%. You should still feel like you have 2 to 3 reps in reserve. For your peak week in week 3, you're working at 85%. You should feel like you have about 1 to 2 reps in reserve. So week 3 is hard. It's about an RPE of 9, right? Rating of perceived exertion out of 10, you should feel like you're doing a 9. A 10 out of 10 would be maxing out. It would be that you couldn't do any more reps. You'll notice that I don't prescribe percentages for accessory work. Accessory work's not about chasing numbers. It's about picking a weight that allows you to complete all the reps with clean technique. You don't want any compensating or rushing. If you're rushing reps, if you're compensating, it's too heavy, you need to drop down. Make sure that you're recording your weights in the red spaces. Even record your warm-up weights. So for example, for day 1 in week 1, your warm-up for back squat is 1 set of 8. Tell me what weight you did. Your next warm-up is 1 set of 4. Tell me what weight you did. Your working weight should go in that last block, and you're going to do 4 sets of 3 reps at that working weight. It's very intentional that I have warm-ups prescribed here. Warm-ups are important. Make sure you're doing them. They impact your total overall volume. While the weight in the warm-ups may be lower, it's important that you're doing those movements with quality and at speed. Even though they're lighter load, they're going to reinforce movement patterns and they're going to help prepare your nervous system. So movement at light loads is okay as long as we're doing it at quick speeds. That's going to actually transfer right to your sport. You need to be able to create power across a variety of different loads. So make sure you're doing the warm-ups, make sure you're intentional with those warm-ups. Another thing you'll notice in this block is I have paired exercises. So on day one, you'll see you have it says A back squat, A box jump. That means I want you to pair those exercises. Once you're done your warm-ups for back squat, you're going to do a working back squat, and then you're going to do a box jump. You'll do 3 box jumps, and you'll go back to your second set of back squat, then box jump. So alternate when the lifts are paired. You also have paired deadlifts and broad jumps in day one for this block. And you'll see that that pairing goes across to day 2 and day 3. So pay attention. If it has the same letter in front of it, you'll be pairing those lifts. On your second tab, your conditioning sheet, you have 2 conditioning days per week across the 4 weeks. It's similar to the lifting program. You want to be going down the sheet. So for example, for day 1, week 1, you're going to be working on acceleration. You're going to do 4 sets of 10-meter sprints with 60 seconds rest in between reps. You're going to do 2 minutes rest in between all the sets. Then you're going to do 4 sets of 20-meter sprints, then 4 sets of 30-meter sprints. This is working on speed and acceleration. So you need to make sure that you're taking the rest time in between the sets and the rest time in between the reps. Every sprint should be 100% effort with full recovery so that you can hit maximum speed. If you are becoming tired and your mechanics are dropping or your speed is dropping, you're no longer going to be effective at building max speed and acceleration, which is the intention of this training session. On day 2 of this block, we're focusing on change of direction, utilizing the 5-10-5 Pro Agility Shuttle. And you'll see that you've got a little bit of progression in the amount that you're doing from week 1 to week 2 to week 3. And you have a deload in week 4, similar to your lifts. Same thing, make sure you're taking rest in between your reps. So for week 1 example, you have 20 seconds rest between reps and 3 minutes in between sets. That's to allow you to recover so that you can give max effort on the change of directions. It's really important for working with change of direction. We're working to take the force production capabilities that you're building in the weight room and directly translate them to acceleration and change of direction for your sport. You also have standardized warm-ups on these days. Make sure that you're doing the warm-ups before running the conditioning sessions.